Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Through the Glass Table. I'm Everett Walker.
And I'm Ismael.
And today we'll be reviewing
Mission Impossible Fallout. Hey guys, Scientology is bad at its max, and Tom Cruise's new Mission Impossible to steal your kids because he ain't got no kids. Katie Holmes left him, so did that Suri bitch. Is her name Suri or Suri? I don't even remember, but fuck it, who cares? He ain't got no children. He's accompanied by a British person who can't act, another British person who's hot, you can't tell, but she hot underneath all that stuff she wears, and Simon Pegg. Damn, there's a lot of British people up in this American film, what the fuck? And,
You did not write this.
Fallout.
So Ismael,
Yes, sir.
what did you think of Mission Impossible Burnout 6?
Well, clearly I know what you think about
Return
it.
to Bear Mountain.
Wow, Return to Bear Mountain.
You remember that?
Which mountain? I liked it. I thought it was okay film.
I also liked it, but there's some things wrong with it.
I mean, there's not much that these movies offer you besides like a made point, like what the goal is.
Yeah, it's just
And
like
then,
good
like-
old-fashioned fun.
Yeah, it's an action film.
Yep.
But what makes it kind of cool is the family element between the characters, Tom Cruise and Simon Pegg, Vin Rhames.
We're family from Fast and the Furious. We gotta stick together because we're family.
But that's what these action movies have. Well, nowadays,
But it does better
it's
than
supposed
that.
to have a heart like that.
In here, you feel that between Vin Rhames
Yeah.
and even like Simon Pegg's only been in
Three.
and already I feel like he's been in every single one of them.
He is like the glue for the family, and I think he's also he is the comic relief in it. So he's such a central character now, I think, for these new ones.
Yep.
Because if they kill off Benji, it's gonna be kind of weird.
This movie stars Mr. Tom Cruise. He's
Tommy.
fine. He is who
He needs to
is.
stop doing his stunts. He's gonna kill himself.
You told me that a lot of these stunts he did,
Yeah, he broke his
Completely.
foot too. in
which
this-
they show in the
Yeah.
movie, kind of. Yeah, yeah. It's amazing some of the things he's willing to do, but he's also fucking insane. So that's like congratulating a crackhead for setting a house on fire. I appreciate Tom Cruise because usually he knows he can only hit one note, and he hits that note over and over and over again. But he does it in a way that's not annoying.
This one has a little more of bringing back the old things, like his ex-wife or whatever is in here again, and so it's just kind of like I feel like this is kind of a wrap-up, but it's not really.
No, it's like 8 more of these. It makes the same mistake like Spectre did, which was the follow-up to Skyfall and the 007 entry, whatever. Because it's suddenly, all of a sudden, they want to give 007 an arch nemesis, and then they call back to other movies, which never really happens in the 007. And I think is also the same can apply for Mission Impossible. Like, of course, characters show back up again, but it's never. Those movies are always usually self-contained. But for some reason, this one relied heavily upon you remembering
Rogue
stuff.
Nation? From
Yeah.
Rogue Nation, yeah.
Yeah, and so I thought that was a strange choice, and I think that hindered the story a little bit.
Isn't this the first one where it's like the same director?
Yeah, because this is the second one in a row.
Yeah, so I think that feeds into what you're saying about like having it be the same feel too, kind of like Rogue Nation, but just have the antics be elevated. Like
Yep.
this one now, the freaking the thing to stop is a nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
Was that like ever a thing? I think this is like the biggest of the.
No, I think
threats.
they've always been cartoony but grounded, and this one was the one where it was sort of like a Super Friends scenario. This story I had a little bit of a problem with. I started to check out. There's a lot that goes on in this, but something was like off, and I figured out is this story, instead of escalating vertically, whereas one problem stacks on top of another, but it's related, and then it makes that problem bigger until you get to the bigger problem at the top. This one went this way. This is the problem, but also this happened, but also this happened, but also now this. Now all of a sudden it's this. And it was like they were never connected.
There were so many different things happening story-wise that they were trying to resolve everyone's story. But it didn't work because to resolve one person's stories, they went on a different tangent. They went to a different tangent.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh my God.
It was confused, and it's like once you got settled into one plot point, then all of a sudden that was resolved and now it's a new one. It's like nothing ever led to the next thing.
I felt like the problem with these new ones started happening right when they introduced the wife. Like the third one was a great film, don't get me wrong, J.J. Abrams did a fantastic job, but like it didn't feel Mission Impossible because the mission became to save someone's life, a particular person. And then from there, it started turning into the family events instead of stopping the world or spy network. The focus of those movies have changed. So now it's just like, where is it going? The greatest movies have a simple drive through them, I feel. And it's the characters that are portrayed that make a film great.
Yep.
At least for me.
I agree with you. Even if if a great movie has an intricate plot, usually the real meat and potatoes is real clear. There's not like I know we are beelining to here.
Yeah.
Because I even told you when we were watching it, I couldn't tell if we were in the first act or the second act. And I know that you're not supposed to predict those things, but I feel comforted when I know, oh, okay, the action just resolved, and now we're gonna get to the resolution. Like you can feel the ebbs and flows.
It's
of
a
the
conclusion, it's a resolution,
and it feels right. And this, I was
Closure.
just like, oh, it's over, and you said no, there's 40 more minutes left. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I have one more thing to talk about.
Okay.
There is an additional actor in this movie who we haven't talked about, and he's here somewhere. Where is he at? He's behind your ass. Henry Cavill's in this.
You can't see it,
but Henry Cavill's in this fucking movie, and he's horrible. I cannot stand him.
I didn't have so much trouble with Henry's portrayal. During the movie, you kept turning to me and saying, he's like an empty rock.
You're not gonna go anywhere unless I say where you're gonna go. That's how he acts. But I just don't understand the appeal of him. Not as Superman, not as anything. Because this is the second time besides Superman.
He is kind of bland.
Yeah. He's actor man.
I don't have much else to say. Do you?
No.
So overall, what do you give the film?
I'll
Out
give
of 5?
Mission Impossible landing strips 6. What is it? Fallout. I would give it a 3 out of 5. I know we talked more about the stuff we didn't like, but it's actually well made. It's well directed. It was Christopher McQuarrie.
Yeah, I think so.
He does a very good job. There is some really good shots in here and intricate. For what the problems are, he keeps it interesting. But it's just some of the problems are not enough to make it a 5. So
I have to agree with you, 3 out of 5. I do agree that it's coherent and it's fun and there's good vibes from the characters all together. But I did feel like draggy a lot. It's not a perfect film, but it's actually one of the ones that sets up kind of expectations and doesn't actually fulfill them, like the little jokes that they have here. It was kind of fun. But that's it, 3 out of 5. It is a good film. Go watch it. Why not? Use your movie pass while it lasts. Thank you guys for joining us on this episode of Through the Glass Table. As always, please comment and subscribe and look out for the new ones of the films we do, bitch.
bye.